Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I love to feature young people doing incredible things, and I am so excited to have on my show Kaatii. Her full name is Anna Catherine Whitley, and she is a child prodigy, I guess.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
She's a budding superstar. She's an artist, and just like Beyonce and Madonna and Cher, she goes by one name, Kaatii.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to perform for us in a minute, but tell us where this all began. How old were you when you first became attracted to music?
When I first was attracted to music, I was just extremely young. I've loved music as long as I can remember because my mom and dad have played all sorts of stuff for me. My mom would take me to operas when I was really little, and then my dad would play music for me like Radiohead, The Killers, Muse, all sorts of stuff like that.
And when did you start writing?
Oh, when I started writing, I think the beginning of 2017, so not very long ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're now 14, you just turned 14.
Yeah.
So when did you perform for the first time in public?
Oh, I performed for the first time in public, I think, August of 2016, around that time, so I was like 10.
Really?
Yeah.
What, were you addicted? Like the first time you did it, you said, I could do this for the rest of my life?
When I first did it, I loved it right off the bat. It was in a really small coffee shop, but I messed up in the middle of my performance, and my best friend was sitting right next to me and whispered the lyrics to me to help me remember. But I have loved it ever since that moment. Even though I wasn't amazing on my first time, it was still just opened me to a whole world of all sorts of stuff, and I've loved it ever since.
That's wonderful. We've got a little clip that we're going to run right now, and I wanted you to describe what this video is that we're watching. Where was that filmed?
That was filmed at the Plano Balloon Festival, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've performed there, I think, twice, and I always enjoy playing there because it's a bunch of families running around having fun and playing games and all that stuff, and I'm kind of just their background music, and sometimes I get some people who really end up liking me, and it's just a lot of fun.
Where do you get the inspiration for your music, and what's harder to write, the lyrics or the music?
I think I get a lot of my inspiration, this is going to sound pretty vague, but I get my inspiration from everything happening around me, whether it's stuff happening in my life or what I observe. The first songs that I wrote, they were actually very visual, so I would look around and take like colors and images that I saw and put them in my song, actually. And the most difficult part about writing, that's an interesting question. I think that the writing of the chords, for me, is the most difficult because that is where I start all the time. I always have probably 10 or 20 different chord ideas in my notes at one time, and I go off of that and I kind of see where that takes me. But that's the hardest part because it's the beginning, and the beginning's always the hardest.
When you're writing the lyrics, I mean, do words come to you? Famously, the Beatles would have placeholder things like yesterday was scrambled eggs, and it was just a placeholder word that they used. Is it a struggle to write the lyrics?
Not necessarily. It's always just kind of come to me. Sometimes when I write something for the first time, it's not the best that it can be, and I know that, but I kind of put whatever the main idea is in the lyrics, and then I go and refine it later. But I never really, maybe in the very beginning, but when I started getting better and better at writing, it's never really been too difficult for me.
We've got another clip of you performing. Do you get nervous when you perform? This looks like a holiday. Where was this?
Oh, this was at a little cafe here in Dallas or Richardson. It's called Communion Cafe. And I actually pre-corona, I went there a lot for little meetings with some people. And this performance, it was a holiday performance actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I remember playing just like a 15-minute set, and I was really nervous right when I stepped on, but this is a common theme for my performances. Maybe halfway through the first song, what I like to say is my nervousness melts away. It's like maybe when I step on, I'm a little shaky or something, or a little nervous, but right when I start singing, it slowly melts away, and then I just get into the groove of things.
Wow, that is so cool. I want to, before we have you perform for us, I want to show some pictures off of your social media, because I was really impressed with, the photography, and talk to us about your branding.
Oh, my branding. My branding is very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
I just love vibrant colors. I always have, and I think that it just helps me pop, and that's my favorite thing. Yeah.
I love it. Well, if you will do us the honor, go ahead and play us something.
Absolutely. I would love to. So, it's funny, a lot of times people think that this is my original song, and it's not, unfortunately. I would love for it to, because it's an incredible song, but it's actually Cherry Wine by Hosier. So.
So icy, oh, but she burns like rum on the fire, hot and fast and angry as she can be. I walk my days on the wire. It looks ugly, but it's clean. Oh, mama, don't fuss over me. Way she tells me I'm hers and she is mine. Open hand or closed fist would be fine. Blood is rare and sweet as cherry wine. Calls of guilty thrown at me, oh, while she stains the sheets of some other. Thrown at me so powerfully, just like she throws with the arm of her brother. Oh, I want it, it's a crime that she's not around most of the time. The way she tells me I'm hers and she's mine. Open hand or closed fist would be fine. Blood is red and sweet as cherry wine. Her fight and fury's fiery, oh, but she loves like sleep to the freezing. Sweet and right and merciful, I'm all but washed in the tide of her breathing. Oh, it's worth it, it's divine that I have this some of the time. Way she tells me I'm hers and she is mine. Open hand or closed fist would be fine. Blood is rare and sweet as cherry wine.
Wow, that's amazing. amazing.
you
I
so
want you to do
much.
me a favor. When you're at the Grammys accepting your award, I want you to give me a shout out when you're thanking your manager and your publicist.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Before we put your website out, I need you to tell everybody the origin of the name Kaatii.
Oh, the origin of the name Kaatii. So my full name is Anna Catherine, and Catherine is actually the English version of Kaatii, and Kaatii is Hungarian, and that's based off of my grandmother because she is first-generation American, immigrated from Hungary. I'm super close to her, and I've always loved her, so I felt like my name, being Kaatii, would be a bit of a tribute to her. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, you have honored us
Thank
today.
you for having
so
me.
much. This is wonderful. We're going to put your website up so people can get a hold of you and book you and follow you on social media and subscribe to your Spotify and all of your other platforms.
Of course.
Thank you so much. You've been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.